Good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host. Excuse me. I have this dude is freaking awesome. I don't even you'll see here in a second, but this guy, when I met him, he's like, "What's your address? I want to send you something." He sent me all this stuff. I'm going to show you here in a little bit. But I want to welcome my buddy Brett to the show. Brett,
I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host.
Oh, I hear myself.
Nope, it's gone. It's gone. My bad.
Oh, okay, good.
I just got on Facebook. I just got on Facebook last night for the first time ever, and I'm like so excited.
Yeah, right. Man. So, Brett, pronounce your last name. I didn't even ask you. Uh-oh. Are you
Weiss,
there?
Weiss, if that's what you said. I lost you. Yep, are you there?
Yeah, is it what? Sorry, you froze up there for a minute. What is it? Weiss?
Weiss, Weiss. Weiss.
Weiss. Okay, Weiss. So,
yeah,
Brett, you, man, I've heard a little bit of your story, and I'm really excited about what you're going to share. You know, I created this show to help people have a breakthrough in life. And right now, especially right now, there's a lot of people stuck, and I'm sure you've been through lots of ups and downs in life. And you know, I'd like to start with where you were born and raised.
Whoa, oh, Phoenix, Arizona, 1971, John C. Lincoln Hospital. Actually, no, I lied. Good Sam. If my mom's on, she'll tell me. I think it was Good Sam, but no, I was born and raised in Phoenix back in September 24th, 71. Grew up in that area. Family's actually from Ohio. And that's where we got a little connection, Ken. So from Cleveland. I got that Browns, Indians, Buckeye, feeling that you always have. And but as I said, I grew up in Arizona, born and raised, went to high school there, went down to school in Tucson. I was a Wildcat way back in the day from 89 to 93, spent 4 of the most amazing years of my life, basically studying a little bit, partying a lot more, but just enjoying.
And I'd like to clarify one thing. There is no Browns love in my heart.
What? This is over. It's nice to know you, Ken. See ya.
Yeah. Go Steelers.
Oh, that's even worse. You just took this like scissors and like cut my hair that I need to cut. Dude, I have two very close friends from college that are Steelers fans. They would love you.
I've been a Steelers fan. I grew up in Central Ohio too, man. And I'm like, you know, everybody picks either the Bengals or the Browns, and I picked the Steelers. So when I was 7.
Yeah, are you a Buckeye fan? That's the big question.
Yeah, dude. Of course, you can't live here without being a Buckeye fan.
All right, you're back on the good side of Mr. Weiss, so we're good to go.
Definitely a Buckeye fan. So you grew up, you said, in Phoenix?
I grew up in Phoenix, but my parents and family are all from the Cleveland area.
Okay.
Mom and dad went to Ohio State, so that's where I got my Buckeye, affiliation, and a Browns fan, an Indians fan, a Cavaliers fan from way back in the day. I mean, I'm a sports junkie, no doubt about it. But growing up in Phoenix, I only had the Suns back in the day. We only had NBA. So that's where I really got into Cleveland. And Cleveland's a great place. I don't think it's a mistake by the lake. I think it's a wonderful place for about 1 month out of the year. But that's where I got my roots from. My mom and dad, again, as I said, were born there. My grandparents were in businesses there. Dairy Queen, the car wash, and my father and his brother moved out to Phoenix in late 60s, and that's where they started their first business and only business right now, which is the car wash industry. And that's where I kind of soiled my oats and got, put down to levels that you don't want to be, but you got to realize you're no different than anybody else, and you got to work just like everybody else, whether it's washing the tire, cleaning the vacuuming inside, putting air fresheners. So I was, from a young age, I was, given the molding of, hey, I'm no different than you. My blood is red as you, whether you're brown, white, you're this and that. And you got to work as hard. Nothing is given to you in life. where was my breakthrough? It was probably then when I was a 13-year-old kid, actually a 13-year-old kid, and I used to take the bus 1.5 miles to work in Phoenix, Arizona. Back in the day, white kids like me took the bus. It was okay. And I would take the bus and I would go work beside my dad's Hispanic employees in 120-degree weather.
Jeez.
And I didn't know any different. I was no different. Yes, I was the owner's son, but my dad worked me, grinded me just like everybody else. I got no special treatment. So, I think awesome. At that point you realize, hey, hard work, a little bit of luck goes a long way, but it's all about hard work and treating people with, a smile and a great attitude, and just, hey, life is not easy, as you know, and a lot of people know. But you got to remember, the sun will come up tomorrow. And if I get really good with you, I'm going to sing that song from Annie. The sun will come up.
So you did you end up going to college?
I did. I went to school down in Arizona, so I was a Wildcat back in the day. Loved it, and we had a huge basketball program there. So I got to experience the Final Four my last year. We had a good football program at that time. In fact, in '93, we beat Miami in the Fiesta Bowl, and I remember I was on the next day. I woke up, and it was New Year's Eve, and the next day I woke up, and my mom wakes me up. She's like, Brett, you made the paper. I'm like, I made the paper. I'm like, oh no, what did I do last night? And she's like, no. She shows me. So it was me and one of my close friends and another girlfriend. And behind us, there's this banner that says Arizona wins 28-0. So it's on the front page of the Arizona Republic. Obviously, this is back in the day when people, read the paper. So yeah. I didn't get in trouble. I was actually on there for the right reasons, rooting on my alma mater. We spanked. I think Miami was actually #1 at that time. So
wow,
we spanked them 28-0. So I loved my 4 years down in Arizona. Met some of my closest friends that are still friends, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I got an education and learned to. That's the first time you're on your own. A lot of people. Yeah. So I was on my own. I had to make my own decisions. I made some good ones. I made some bad ones. But that's when you learn to be yourself. And everybody's got their different opinions and likes, and it was awesome. I will tell you that I loved Arizona. When I was in college, I also was very fortunate to spend 3 months on a program called Semester at Sea. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that program. If you have a child, I highly recommend it. So I lived on a cruise ship for 90 days, and I traveled the world. Really, I traveled the world with 300 students throughout the U.S. I took college-level classes, and we started in Nassau, with the Nassau, Venezuela, Brazil, South Africa, Kenya, India, Malaysia, Hong Kong. I flew to Bangkok with 15 guys. That's an off-the-air story about Bangkok, and then Japan. So that was another breakthrough, kind of we talked about, is when I was obviously growing up in Arizona, growing up in the U.S. You don't know, we have it good here. We have it the best in the world, but the fact that I was able to go experience different cultures and different lives as a 20-year-old was just the eye opener. Was kind of a breakthrough. I'll be honest, Ken. I mean, we went from Venezuela, and the day we left Venezuela is when the first coup happened back in '92, and then we went to South Africa. And South Africa back in the day, that's when they had apartheid going, and it was you would go to the rich area and you go to the townships, and if you've ever seen squalor, people have no running water. Wow. No electricity. They live like that. But it was situations like that from South Africa to even in India. Two of my close friends and I flew to Calcutta, and we went to Mother Teresa's first orphanage. And
wow,
eye-opening. I remember walking on the street to the orphanage, and there was a guy there, no arms, no legs, and he had a can under his chin, soup can, begging for money. And guess what? He was smiling. He didn't know any different. So I was very fortunate to see those things kind of breaks through in certain respects that, hey, what we have here, you can never take for granted, because we in the U.S. and with everything that's going on right now, it's not good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, this is this is that. It's a bad situation, but you also have to remember, we have a lot better than majority of the world.
Yeah.
And I got experience.
So after college, what did you get into? Like, first I told you, and I'm going to tell the audience, like, you're like the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. I mean, you're a hustler. You make it happen, man. And I want to get into that here in a minute, but let's talk about right after college. What did you go get a job? What was your degree in?
Can I step back 2 seconds? Because
Yep.
Whenever you say you're an entrepreneurs, you are so right. At the age of 10, I used to ride my bike a mile and a half.
Uh-oh, I lost you.
And
you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep. You just froze for a second. I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and got a dozen donuts, and I'd stop at Walgreens and get orange Tic Tacs. And by the time the bell rang, I had $20 in my pocket. So
wow.
I didn't know any different. I had to hustle. Then I went to work for my dad's car wash when I was 10 to 14, 16, high school. So I just learned how to hustle and make money. After college, I wasn't ready to join the real world. So what did I do? Well, I decided to go move down to Costa Rica for 6 months. So me and 2 friends of mine moved down to Costa Rica. I lived with a family. I learned Spanish, and I'd planned to be there for a year and a half. But after 6, 7 months, I got tired of living out of a backpack. I'll be honest with you. So came back to the United States. Go ahead.
Wait. In Costa Rica, you lived out of a backpack?
Basically, I had a home base in one of the cities from a friend of a friend, and that I met. Remember, this is back in the day. There was no internet. There was dial-up phones. You had emails. You got lucky if you got through. So a friend of a friend knew some guys that owned a bar down there. So I went down there, never met them, never spoke to them, a couple emails, and ended up, they had a room. So me and my buddies, we basically had a home base, and we just traveled the country. I went to Nicaragua twice. I went down to Panama twice. And, so it was awesome. Costa Rica now and then is night and day. I mean, it was back in 94, and it was a paradise. I mean, now it's built up, and that's just the way things are. So I was there for 6 months, really expounded on my Spanish, as well as did quite a bit of traveling throughout the country, because it's a small country. It's only the size of West Virginia, but the diversity in the whole country is amazing, from black sand beaches to active volcanoes to cloud forests to shell beaches to a Rastafarian section to the Tico section. It's as Pauline just said, it's heaven. So I've been down there many times over the years, but after 6 months, after my hair got a little bit long and dreadlocks, so we talked about it earlier, I was like, all right, I'm tired. I want to go home. And I went and I surprised my mom for Thanksgiving back in 94, and she didn't expect it. And then I'm home for like 3 days, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going back to the real world yet. So one of my uncles actually has a home in Snowmass, and I called him up. He's like, yeah, come live with me. So I ended up moving over to Aspen, become a ski bum.
Wow.
So I lived in Aspen for a year and a half. I played hard. I worked hard. Worked 3 jobs. I lived in a house with 8 people. I shared a room.
Wow.
I absolutely loved it, because I grew up skiing, as I said earlier, a sportsman. So it was heaven, and I always wanted to do that. And there was after a year and a half, there was basically 2 things that said, all right, Brett, it's maybe time to move on with your life and get a real job.
Yeah.
And one was I had a little snowboarding accident, and I literally took a stick up the ass. I'm not lying with you. I landed I landed so hard on a tree stump or a rock that it punctured. I basically had a puncture wound in my right buttock, and I toughed it out. I tried to work for another 6 weeks. It was probably early February of '96, but I had to sit. I was a cashier at one of the restaurants on the mountain, and I had to sit on the donut the whole time. And I would have done it, but I'm like, after that happened, and then after I read the Aspen Times one day, it said billionaires pushing out millionaires. I'm like, okay, I can see myself as a millionaire one day. Billionaire, that takes a lot of luck. So I moved back to Phoenix and got into the real world. I think you asked me, my first job was actually working for a friend of my father's. We had basically it was called Easy Pension. We created an easy benefit pension plan for small business owners to put away. His major business was basically loophole accounting and taxes and plans, and we thought we can go after the small individuals. It worked, but it didn't work. I moved into the recruiting world. I was doing technical recruiting way back in the day when there was no internet. You basically had to search and dial and find lists and stuff. And after about 4 months of sitting in this chair that was probably from the 1940s, I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this. Even though I could have made a lot of money, I couldn't see myself sitting in this chair that was from 1940s at this computer. Was like a Commodore computer back in the day.
Yeah.
And just the phone dialing. That wasn't me. I needed to be in front of people. And I basically said, Mom, Dad, I love you, but I'm going west. So I moved to LA in 97.
Did you really?
I did.
Now, by yourself, or what did you? Because it sounds like you traveled a lot with your buddies.
Yeah, no, actually, my sister, who is one of my best friends, had just graduated from college. She had moved to Santa Monica, and one of my best buddies from college, actually, Todd Sternberg, they all lived together in Santa Monica. So I lived down the street from them,
Wow.
and Heather and her roommate Lisa and my buddy Todd all lived together. I lived down the street, and what is that? Was in 97. It's 2000. I was 23 years ago. Is that right? If I'm doing my math.
2007. Yeah.
Yeah. No. 1997. 97 is when I moved.
Yeah, that'd be 23.
I moved to LA. Yep.
Wow. So what'd you do in LA once you got there?
Well, my first job actually was working for my cousin. He was a manager of a restaurant, a place called Chin Chin. And I got there, he gave me a job. I had to go get spanking brand new white Nike tennis shoes. And I was excited. And after 2 days, I'm like, Howie, I appreciate the opportunity, but I got a real job. So I ended up going to work for a company called Future Electronics. I was selling computer components, computer hardware,
wow,
memory, chips, keyboard, all that stuff back in the day. And hey, what's up, Mr. Benson?
There's Zach. What's up, Zach?
So I did that for 3 years. I ended up becoming the manager of the West Coast region. I was actually the first person to hit $1 million in sales. And once I did it once, I ended up doing it like 16 months in a row. And
wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. I ended up I lived in Hermosa Beach at that time. So I moved from Santa Monica to Hermosa Beach. I used to commute out to the City of Industry. People who are on this call know LA, but City of Industry is 626. A lot of the technology and computer companies were based out there. And a lot of it was run by, Asian people, which I love and adore. And they let this little white Jewish kid get in. And it wasn't because of any of that. It was because I knew how to connect with people. I knew how to make them smile and make them feel, important. And that's really what life is about.
It really is, isn't it?
Yep.
It really is.
Yep. It is. That's all it is. It's very simple. I've got a 13-year-old daughter, Ken, and I've taught her, and her mom has as well, from a young age. There's like 13 things in life, and I'm going to keep 4 words out of them. We'll keep for another day, which I think you and I spoke about. But there's like 9 words that everybody should use in their vocabulary that I truly believe will make you a better person and get you the next day. And it's very simple. It's please, hello, thank you, goodbye, you're welcome, and I love you. Those are words that we use on a daily basis. And it's even better when you look at somebody in the face and eye to eye. I said my daughter's 13, but when she was 6, she would say please and thank you to people, and they'd like look at me and say, "Did that little girl just say that?" I said, "Yeah, she doesn't know any different. It's very easy."
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, raising children with good manners and good habits is important.
It's very important, and I've actually been a single father since my daughter Kendi was 2, and her mom and I have done a phenomenal job. I mean, I remember when she was 8 or 9 years old, and we would go to parent-teacher conferences, and at the end we'd say, "Hey," or even when we first meet the teacher, we'd say, "Hey, do you mind if you send Kendi home with 2 sets of papers?" Or they'd say, "Well, why?" Like, "We're separated." They're like, "Really?" So kudos to her mom. Kudos to myself. Is it was no different. It's just part of life. She had no different. I try to make it like we lived together, but we didn't. So it's all about raising a child, a dog, a kid the right way.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. So where did you go from there?
So you love this. So in 2000, I was dating my sister's ex roommate. I was over visiting her in Spain. And as I'm in Spain for a week, 2 weeks, I get a call from my inside sales rep, and she says, "Hey, do yourself a favor, stay there." I'm like, "What? Stay there?" Yeah, they just closed our division, but everybody's getting 6 months severance. I'm like, bonus.
Wow.
So I ended up in Spain for another 3 weeks. My girl in about June of 2000. We were all living in LA, me, her, and my sister. I basically packed up my 4Runner and did a 60-day road trip. Started in LA and went all the way up to Canada, through Oregon and Glacier Bay, Glacier, and all this stuff, and back down through Salt Lake and all this stuff. So we did like a 60-day road trip, and we ended up back in San Diego. So I moved to San Diego back in 2000, and that's where I am currently. And it's heaven. It's heaven. First job when I got back to San Diego was getting into the holographic industry. I worked for a company called HoloWebs. Very similar to your credit card. There's a little hologram on the front.
Yeah.
So I met a gentleman, Dan Lieberman, who had started he was based in Mexico City, started a division up here. So I kind of helped him run the company. Brought in another good friend of mine to help me run it, this gentleman, D. Sarbach, who lives in Costa right now. I'm a little bit of a venture, Colleen. I don't have a choice. You got to live life to the fullest,
That's right.
So I helped Dan run this company. Unfortunately, ran out of money in I think 2001, 2002. But I had made a lot of relationships, and I'm like, I can't. Do I start fresh somewhere else, or I keep doing what I'm doing? So I basically started my own company, BD Marketing, which stood for Brett and D. Neither of us are creative. We're like, hey, let's come with the company. Your first name, my first name, marketing. Sounds good. It works. So we actually sold millions and millions of kids stickers. So when you go into a grocery store,
yeah,
there's those vending machines, and not back in the day, there's a lot of them. You put a quarter in, you get a bouncing ball, a tattoo, a sticker.
Yeah.
All the stickers that had a hologram on it, or holographic shiny background.
Yeah.
I made probably 85% of those way back in the day. I was essentially a broker. I had an end user who I had the customer who came with the designs. I was the middleman. I had the printer. I facilitated everything. So I didn't, I hustled. I had no other way. How am I going to make money? And then, it's like right now, I feel for a lot of people, what are we going to do next?
Yeah.
Hustle, figure it out. There's always opportunity, whether it's a good time or a bad time. You gotta figure it out and take risks and chances. I'm fortunate. I will. I always have. It comes down to me. I control my destiny, just like you control your destiny, Ken.
Yeah.
I don't want to rely on somebody else to give me a paycheck. End of story. I never have. Yes, I worked for people for about 5 years of my career, but after that, I'm like, no more. It's up to me. If I want to eat, I'm going to make sure I eat. Not because that CEO decided he doesn't want to pay us anymore. Yeah. I'm the one that's feeding myself.
Dude, that I can so relate to that, man. I think that what's important for me and for I think the audience is that you weren't handed. Like I'm sure you went through the times of being broke, of struggling, not being able to make it.
I was never. Yeah, again, I was fortunate to grow up with the family I grew up with and who they are, and I could I have whatever I wanted? Of course, but I was never handed it on a silver plate. My father, again, I started working at the age of 12. Yep. I worked at the car wash. I worked from the age of 12 till now. I've never taken off. After I graduated from my college, my dad's like, all right, you're done. We just pay for your education.
Wow.
Whatever you want to do, good luck, go. So I worked for 6 months after I graduated, and then I moved down to Costa Rica, and then I moved to Aspen. Well, that was it. if I needed some help, my parents were always there, but it was up to me. I had no choice but to make a decision. And I even went into, back in 2005, I got into the restaurant business, and I worked 100 hours a week. I made $2,500 a month. I lived paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't just giving it. And I knew if I worked my butt off and had a little bit of luck, that at some point I get to where I want and be successful.
Yeah.
You got to take, as Nancy said. Now, is Nancy related to you? No, I'm only kidding. No, you got to take responsibility, and that's what I've always done. So yes, I had a lot, Ken. Don't get me wrong. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
But I also worked my butt off from day one, and even now, I don't take off. I mean, my friends and customers and family, this thing right here, I hate it. I hate this phone. You want to know why? Because it's always binging, buzzing. It's always there. And you know what I do? I respond, and I don't care what time it is, because that's just who I am. My daughter always asks me, Dad, why do you work so hard? I said, because I don't know any better. That's how Papa did. That's how your Uncle Jerry did. I don't know any better. That's just who I am. I don't. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There'll be days I'll be cruising for 7-8 hours, maybe take a full day off.
Yeah.
But if you want something, you got to go get it. You can't wait for somebody to say, here you go, good luck.
Yeah, that's right. And generally when it's handed to you, you don't appreciate it as much anyway. So
nope, not at all.
That's why most lottery winners are broke within a year or two. So they have once you work your face off for it, you learn how to appreciate it. So you're in San Diego, which, by the way, I've been to San Diego one time. Actually, Zach, that's where I met Zach, was in San Diego, because we were both there at a conference where he spoke, and we were both influencer judges at this thing with Tamara Thompson. So it was awesome. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area.
Heaven. It's so nice. I mean, people ask, how do you afford to live there? And you know what I tell them? It's a price I pay to live in paradise. And I just got to work a little bit harder, because I don't want to, we have sunshine pretty much, 300 days a year. And I drive to work, or I could drive the coast. I have the coast. I have the mountains.
Yeah.
I'm close to Arizona. I'm this and that. It's a nice way of life. I mean, people are very outdoorsy. They're very healthy. A lot of people smile. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like about San Diego. There's a lot of traffic. There's too many people. But this is where I've laid my feet down for the last 20 years, and I'll be here for another 7-8 years until my daughter goes into college. And as I've told her, I said, as soon as you hit college, Kennedy, you'll be visiting your dad in some foreign country on spring break, summer vacation. I love you. 18 years, I'll give you whatever you need. I'll continue, but I'm staying here now. But I'm going far away. As soon as you're in college, you're not going to want me. You're going to want to do your thing.
That's right. So eventually, you got into, and I just got to bring this up. So you sent me, I'm going to show people, you sent me this stuff, premium hemp stuff, and more hemp stuff, muscle gel, and elderberry drops and CBD, and
mine too. Look at that. Yep.
Face masks for my wife, and a pain patch for, you sent me all this stuff, and it's CBD based. Now I want to bring that up because I don't know anything about CBD. I'm a recovered alcoholic with 17 and a half years sober, and I haven't had a drug or a mind or mood altering drug or a drop of alcohol in those 17 and a half years. So every time somebody has said CBD, you got to get CBD, man, you got to use CBD, I think, dude, I'm not doing weed, man. That's not my thing. I can't.
Yeah. So, I'm glad you brought up that point. So backtrack, 2013, I got into another business. I got into the electronic cigarette business.
Okay.
And a lot of my customers were in recovery. Colleen, I think we're going to be friends, We'll give you a call at the end of the day. So in 2013, I got into the electronic cigarette business. In 2014, Ken, I actually started selling CBD. I sold a vape additive that you added to your e-liquid,
Okay.
And I remember because a lot of the people in the vape world were in recovery,
Okay.
and they were so against CBD. No, it's going to get you high. It's going to get you addicted. And I preached and I taught that CBD will not get you high. So in the marijuana plant, or the industrial hemp plant, you have two molecules. You have CBD, which is the medical property, and you have THC, which is a psychoactive property.
Right.
So fast forward to 2018 is when I started my next company, Caboella Group, which was has a couple different brands: Smile and Wellness, Odyssey, Campfire Provisions, and really got going. So CBD doesn't get you high. It's a medical miracle. It's grown in the ground. It's got, some has, there are different types of CBD products out there, Ken. The current one that we gave you is called a broad spectrum, which means there's zero THC.
Zero.
Detectable. Full zero. So everything you have there is zero. So I can't promise you that it will work, but if you do, you'll definitely smile and you won't get addicted.
I smile a lot, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you do, and I love it. And Colleen said, so it helps. It really does, from stress, anxiety, muscle ache, fatigue. You probably heard of the company Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web really was the first company years ago to come basically out into the national public with a CBD product that, Colleen, make sure you send Ken and me your address. I'm sending you a T-shirt and it's something that's going to make you smile too. So
that's awesome. Colleen's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Is she okay? You didn't pay her to post all this stuff, did you?
No, I had no idea she uses CBD. So
good. Well, Colleen, you need to talk to Ken. So it doesn't get you addicted, Ken. Your body. So here's the other thing most people don't know. When you were born, your body has cannabinoids inherently. You have what's called a CB1 and a CB2 receptor. So you're born with basic cannabinoids in your system. They just don't work. So what I tell people is very similar. When we wake up in the morning, you have a cup of coffee. Take a cup of coffee, you have a little stimulant, it gets to go. CBD, it's like if you use the tincture or you use one of the roll-ons or a face mask. What it's doing is saying, all right, CB1, CB2 receptors, go to work, do your job. Wow, we're twinsies today. I like that.
Well, dude, what is this? I'm gonna open it up.
This is a tincture. So these tinctures, these are all made with natural organic ingredients. I don't know. I may have sent you 1,000 milligrams. So they come in different strengths.
You did.
Okay. So this is a tincture that's good for stress, anxiety during your day, or even at nighttime. I've got a couple people that take a full dropper full before they go to bed and they sleep like a baby.
What do you do with it? You just put it in your mouth?
I mean, do you really want me to show you how it's done? I will.
Yes.
You basically take it, twist it off. We got our child-proof cap. We got our plastic wrapping. There's a date on there. And this is amazing. It's all made with organic and natural flavoring. And
that's it.
You put it on your tongue. You let it dissolve. It tastes so good that I take 2 or 3, and that's it. It's that simple.
You take 2 or 3 at a time?
I do. It depends. It's 1,000 milligrams. So everybody's body, God, Colleen, you're the best. Everybody's body is different. Your body composition. So what works for you, Ken, might not work for me, vice versa. I've got CBD dog treats, Nancy. No doubt about it.
Oh my God. So look at this. Colleen, it's his brand. Smiling.
It's my brand, Smile and Wellness.
He owns the company. You own the company, right?
Babe, yeah, I own the company. I do. It's one of 3 companies. My parent company is Caboella Group, and then I have 3 brands under them. Smile and Wellness, SMILYN wellness.com is one of the websites. The other one is Odyssey Life, ODISEA. Oh, we are connecting, Colleen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Odyssey Life, ODISEA life.com. And then I actually just started another brand called campfireprovisionsco.com. And I'll text that to you later, Ken. That is a CBD pre-rolls. So they're basically joints with there are very low levels of THC, so I don't recommend it to you. Yeah. It doesn't get you high. It's mostly CBD flower.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 companies that I'm currently, running on a day-to-day basis there, with a bunch of other ideas that keep flowing through my head. I mean, I'm actually going to start a podcast, and guess who's going to be my first guest?
Colleen.
No, you, Mr. Wallace.
I'm down, dude. I'm down. And I will, if you're telling me there's no THC in this.
There is 0 THC in there. I have lab reports on my website that will show you. So we get everything third-party lab tested.
Okay.
Because people want to know what's in there.
Yeah.
So.
Does it taste good?
Come on. Do birds fly?
Well, not all. Penguins don't.
Good answer. No, it does. Our stuff tastes probably, Colleen, actually, if you could answer me a question, what brand of CBD do you use, and does it taste good? Ken, mine is the best. I'm not just saying that. I know it is. It's so good. You just want to drink the whole bottle.
Really?
It's that good. It's all made with organic and natural flavorings. A lot of ones aren't. Why don't you just do it on air right now? Come on.
I'm going to right now, dude.
Yeah, so just put a dropper under your tongue, and you tell me what it tastes like. So I've got.
My wife is on here too. Babe, you're gonna watch me get high for the first time in 17 and a half years.
Is Jill your wife?
She is, yeah.
Hi, Jill. Nice to meet you.
I gotta convince her to try these face masks, dude. What are these face masks? What are they gonna do for her?
Well, she might leave you when she puts them on, Ken.
Whoa, dude. All right, I'm getting rid of the face masks.
No, they moisturize, they hydrate, they just make your skin so soft and pretty. I even use them. I love them. They're great for just daily nutrients, and this. They're also great for if you get a sunburn or a freezer burn. Talk to me.
I mean, it tastes like oranges.
Duh.
It's good. And Colleen says CTFO. That's kind
of like a UTFO, which is an old rap band. So I have no idea who CTFO is.
Oh,
but
well,
Colleen,
Brett, there's a lot of there are. I know. Well, I don't know if there's a lot. I know that does taste good, by the way.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm craving a bag of potato chips.
It's all in your head. Make sure they're Lay's potato chips. Barbecue is my favorite.
I'm kidding. So that's my very first time ever using CBD, and I did it because of you, dude.
Well,
so
I appreciate it.
Hey, I mean, I guess I need to know. Is there somebody else there that wants to be on the show or something?
No. Come.
No.
No. He doesn't want
to. So Colleen says she's looking for a new brand, and you guys, I'll connect you guys after this. We'll do. I'll send you guys a group chat. So,
yeah.
So you started doing this stuff back in
2018. I started this company.
2018. What is my wife said? What is that for? I don't know what's
the tincture that you just took is great for stress and anxiety.
Oh.
Also help you if you have problems sleeping at night. And if you go to our website, we have a blog with a lot of education, which is that girl that wouldn't say hi in the background.
Okay.
We've done some amazing education. That's really where I've tried to put my foot forward, Ken, is an education process. There's a lot of companies out there, tons of companies out there that claim this, claim that. What you see is what you get. Third parties, and we're educating. I mean, we have blogs on Parkinson's. We have blogs on CBD and athletes. We have blogs on how it helps COVID right now. And Nancy uses it for sleep. So I want to educate the public as much as possible. And I do that on a daily basis. And our website has some great information. I can only give many thanks out to this girl that won't be on camera right next to me. So
I can give you a testimonial.
Yeah, she can even give me a testimonial.
Tell her she's not allowed to talk if she doesn't show herself.
I've been working out, so that's why I didn't want to be on camera. But I will say,
Ken, meet Brandy. Brandy, meet Ken.
Hey, Brandy,
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. I will say before I met this guy, this is my personal testimonial and my experience with CBD in general is I have a mother who has struggled with Parkinson's for 10 years.
Yeah.
And she was on every kind of medication that you can imagine for anxiety and antidepressant. She was on Xanax, made her loopy. She like fell over even from it, even taking a quarter of a pill, this kind of thing. The problem is that she was not functioning from these medications. And we stopped all of them cold turkey the doctors didn't advise us doing that, but we stopped them cold turkey and started her right on CBD.
Yeah.
And we gave her proactively. So we gave her a pill because she couldn't stand the taste of the brand that we were using before. It was very weedy, it was very heavy serum. And so we would put it in a capsule and then she would take it instead of putting it under her tongue. And then we would do that proactively 3 times a day. So morning, noon, and night.
Wow.
And my mom was able to become more social. So it would literally get rid of her social anxieties and it would make it so that she could go out in public and we could have, I have a group of people here, sorry. Bye guys. And so it literally saved us in a way that allowed my parents to have a dinner together from time to time. So instead of, I mean, when she was on Xanax, there was no way they could go out to dinner. You know what I mean?
Wow.
On the CBD, she was able to function. She didn't feel groggy or upset or, you know, these types of other things that were along with the side effects with those heavy meds. And so then when I met with Brett and he started to show me the flavors and stuff that they have for the tinctures, it made a world of difference. So we could give it to her at any time. She enjoyed the taste of it. And so it was just kind of the added bonus for us on that end.
And it helped with her Parkinson's?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
My father will contest to it day in and day out. She's dealt with it for 10 years. It's the first, we've done every kind of prescribed medication. We've seen every specialist. She goes to a Parkinson's Research Institute in Chicago. And we tell them that we give her CBD. And she has basically has said, you know, they don't tell us to not take her off of it because it's also very taboo. I mean, I'm coming from a very closed-minded, how do I say?
Yeah.
Midwestern mentality. And it was, you know, very taboo for them to consider anything like CBD. And my father, he uses the roll-ons now himself, and he's like, there's nothing better for us.
The roll-on that I have that, right?
Yeah, you have hot and cold. Yep, that's the hot. This is the cold. It's kind of like icy hot. You make sure make sure you open it up. When you open it up, Ken, there's actually a seal on the top of it. I've had many people take it out and say, "Oh, this doesn't work." I'm like, "Have you taken the seal off?" How do
you do that?
Where's your wife? Is she there? She can help you do that stuff.
Oh, you mean
my dad
I saw it.
Yeah, you take it off and then basically, you know, you feed it in the top. So it's great for aches and pains and inflammation. It's great for arthritis, Jill.
Really?
No doubt about it. Yes. Yep. I have people that, you know, basically their hands are like these. They use it. I'm not going to say they're going like this, but it definitely helps with arthritis and chronic pain on any part of the body.
No way, dude. Is it instant or is it
The hot one is instant. You definitely feel it coming on right away. The cold one is more of an icy type of feeling, but it just like Brandy said, her father uses it. He's got bad knees.
Yeah, after knee surgery, he started using it as part of his recovery, and it's helped him.
Wow. So
it's So
again, coming from a mentality of we will never touch anything like that. That is not something that we would even consider. To now, this is the best thing that we could ever apply to our daily regimen.
And there is no THC in this.
Can you spell ZERO? Zero.
Do I sound like somebody?
I'm out of here.
Hey, nice meeting you. Do I sound like somebody that has stayed away from it out of that fear? Because look, here's why, dude. I take my sobriety more serious than anything else in life. And
that is amazing. I would never do anything to put anybody at, you know, harm's way to go back to where they were, because it's a very serious disease. And that's why I went towards, yes, my mom, we'll get one for your mom. That's why I went towards the broad spectrum, which is zero THC. Even though there is very low levels of THC in the other products, I don't want you, your mind plays tricks on you, Ken. The mind controls everything. So if you know this has THC and that doesn't, even though this one may not get you addicted, I don't even want to put that in your mind.
Right.
So I have, as I said, I've in all my groups, you could ask some people. I have many people just like yourself that are in recovery that swear by it and it hasn't allowed them to want to go pick up a bottle, a drink or a joint or something like this. So I can attest to that. You can do your own research. It's basically a lack of education. A lot of people just don't know. CBD has really just come to the forefront. I mean, when I got started 18 months ago in the CBD space, there's maybe 3,000 companies. Now
what's your website real quick? I'm going to throw it up on the screen.
www.smilynwellness.com. SMILYN wellness.com.
Wellness.com.
Yeah.
So right there, smilingwellness.com.
Yep.
And you created a code for anybody on here that would like to you've got this code if they use Walls 30.
I have that code, and actually today they'll see if they go to my website. We actually have and I should have thought about this. They have a code for 40% off called Who40. I love Dr. Seuss. Come on, shoot me. I'm a Dr. Seuss fan.
What's it called?
Who40, WHO40. What we actually did, Ken, for the month of April is we gave a 40% coupon code, and we're donating 10% back of monthly proceeds to the WHO organization, which something like.
That's one of the things I've noted about you. I've excuse me. I've stalked your Facebook page a lot. You are very giving. You do a lot of stuff for charity, man. A lot. I appreciate it.
That means more than anything else. I don't want, something back in return. I want a thank you. But I will continue to do it. That's all I've ever done my whole life. I've been fortunate. And even when I'm less fortunate, I will still do it. I'm that guy when I'm driving down the road and I pull up to a stop sign, there's a guy holding a sign for $5 or I'm hungry. I'll give him what I can.
Yeah.
Just what I do. I love it. That, part of my French, that gets me off. I love to make people smile. I mean, but I can I can do that. I'm able to. I'm fortunate. I've done it since I was a young kid. I'll do it till the day I die. I like to help people. I like to give back because you never know that one person who you help, you don't know what that's going to do. That's going to change their world. I mean, I'll give you a quick story because I know you're getting excited. You want to go eat some more potato chips.
No, I'm just like, I don't feel anything, honestly.
No, but it's not. See, here's the other thing about CBD. It's not like you're going to feel an instant like, oh my God, I'm going to go run a marathon, or I'm going to be able to dunk a basketball. Yeah. It's with CBD and anything in life, Ken, it's about consistency. Yeah. So you got to do a daily regimen. So yes, do some people feel a quick onset of the product? 100%. Do other people it takes a couple times? 100%. Does other people you got to do it 2 or 3 weeks? Yeah, it's all. Everybody's body composition is different. I mean, from what I know about you, you're cool, calm, and collected. So
yeah.
Are you the prototypical candidate? No, maybe yes. But you have ailments? Can you sleep at night? Maybe you're up all night. So there's different times that will probably work. I'm smiling ear to ear. You found the most amazing company, Colleen, and I'm always available.
That's awesome. So you were going to tell a story.
The story about helping people out. So about 2.5 years ago, I was taking my daughter, and we always stop by Starbucks in the morning. She sucks me into it, and it was raining here in San Diego. And as we're pulling out to go to school, I saw this guy sitting on the corner. Shoes. He had holes in his shoes. He had a T-shirt on. He was freezing, and people just kept driving by. I drove by, and I'm like, hey, do me a favor. I'll be right back. Going to Starbucks. So I took Kennedy and myself home. We went home. I grabbed about 4 or 5 jackets, couple pairs of shoes, and we pulled back up. And I remember I said, Kennedy, go get him. So she knocked he was in Starbucks and it was busy. She knocked on the door. He came out, and the guy just looked at me with these eyes and this grin. Is like, why are you doing this for me? And I said, because I can. So I just doing that. He's like, but nobody does this. I said, well, I do. I mean, people do that. There are good people out there have good hearts that will help others. And I don't know what's happened to the guy, but if I made him, if I gave him hope for just one day, 1 hour, 1 minute, who knows where that takes somebody. And that's what I like to do, back to the whole giving thing. That's just who I am. I won't change it. Just what I do. For the month of May, I'm going to be actually finding local San Diego companies and helping give back, So thanks, Jill. Appreciate it.
So smilingwellness.com, use the coupon code WHO40 for a 40% off discount
today. And then you can use Walls 30 for the rest of the month of May.
Wow. It's not even May yet, dude.
I know, that's tomorrow. So April showers brings May Walls.
That's awesome, man. That is so awesome. Dude, I told you, like, we started talking about all the stuff that you do before we went live. And I was like, you're my new favorite person, man. And not because of all the stuff you do, but because of all the stuff that you do. You're a real entrepreneur, man. You're making it happen. And not just for yourself financially. I know you're doing well financially. I'm talking about for the rest of the world. You're doing good stuff, man.
I love it. I do. And I appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. Benson, for hooking me up with Mr. Walls.
Yeah, Zach, you rock, dude.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, Ken, that I can unequivocally tell you that will, it's not he who dies with the most money. It's he who dies with the most friends. And I have a good feeling we'll be friends for quite some time. When you connect with somebody and they make you smile, and vice versa. So that's what life is about. You never know who you're connect with and where it's going to take you. Don't expect.
Hey, I now have a good reason to come back to San Diego.
100%. You're more than welcome. You and Jill can stay at my house anytime.
That's awesome, man. You rock, dude. Thank you so much for coming on and having. Is it Brandy? Is that her name, Brandy?
Brandy, yes. She actually does. She does some of my other stuff. But yeah, she was in the back. This is the first time she got on camera, so
that's awesome.
I owe you for that as well. So anything you guys need, Colleen, please reach out to me. Jill, hopefully I'll get to meet you one day.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at this, Ken. Go Browns and keep smiling.
Go Steelers.
Take care, my friend. Have a good week.
Hey, dude. Thank you. Don't hang up on me yet.
Okay,
I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you, guys. Colleen, I will connect you with Brett, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much.